In this third video, I'm going to demonstrate the first game. So we're on the Cedric's Quest page, and I'm going to go ahead and go and find the first game.
Cedric's Quests. Heading.
So I'm just right swiping.
Introduction. Are you ready for the adventure? Button.
That's the interactive tutorial. I'm going to swipe right again.
1. Find the Lumen Tenebris wand. Checkbox. Checked.
So now I am on the one that I want, and I am going to go down to the play in the bottom right hand corner and activate that. You will notice that all of these, the default is to have all of these different quests checked. If I want to skip down to a different quest, I can uncheck them and only have like number 6, shielding with the circle spell. I can have that one selected, and then when I hit play, it will automatically start with 6. But for now, we're going to start with the first game.
Play. Button. 6. -6. Grimwood. Cedric Shadowbane has just begun his wizard apprenticeship under the watchful eye of his companion and mentor, Althea Whisperwing. Althea tasks Cedric with finding the Lumen Tenebris, a legendary wand hidden deep within Grimwood Forest. Cedric will need a wand before beginning his adventures.
I'm going to right swipe for more instructions.
Cedric isn't sure where to begin. Althea instructs him to use a coordinate plane to map the forest. Can you help him do that by tapping Grimwood Forest on the right side of your screen? If you use voiceover, you need to double tap.
All right, I'm going to touch the right-hand side, which
Grimwood
is an
Forest.
image. And now I'm going to split tap.
Grimwood Forest. Althea sits at location 0, 0, or the origin of the coordinate plane. Althea has a clue for Cedric that will help him to find the wand.
Right swipe for
Tap
more
Althea at
instructions.
the origin to get the clue. Remember, you can also use the help button at the bottom of the screen. If you are using voiceover, you may swipe up or down on the help button for reminders of key information.
All right, so again, we are back on the screens are 1/4 on the left with the instructions, and below the instructions are the help, which is new. In order to use the help, you swipe up or down to go through the help items. The help basically just tells you like your coordinate. It tells you the important information in case you have forgotten it or didn't hear it the first time. Below the help is the previous step, and right now the next button is dimmed until I successfully play the game. So what it just asked me is to find the owl, and she is in the origin at 0, 0. So I'm going to touch on the right hand side of the screen until I find the middle.
Althea, origin 0, 0.
There she is. I dragged around the screen to find her. Now I'm going to split tap.
Althea, origin 0, 0. Althea reveals she last saw the Lumen Tenebris deep in the forest near coordinates -3, -4. Cedric must go to the last known coordinates to see if the wand is still there.
Gonna right swipe.
Tap the point at -3, -4 to find out.
All right, so -3, I'm going to find the x-axis first. So I'm going to drag my finger on the screen on the right-hand side until I find x.
X-axis 3, 0.
And I want to go to -3.
X-axis 2, X-axis 1. Althea, origin X-axis -1, X-axis -2, X-axis -3, 0.
Now, it's super important if you notice that I was able to drag my finger in a straight line. So that's a really important prerequisite for this game, because you do want to drag your finger and not swipe to these items. All right, so we're looking for -3, -4. -4 is going to be in the bottom left quadrant. I'm on -3 on the x-axis, and I'm going to go down to find -4 on the y.
-3, -1, -3, -2, -3, -3, -3, -4.
All right, and remember, I'm keeping my finger on the grid the whole time, and now I'm going to drop my second finger to do a split tap to select it.
-3, -4. Arriving at the spot, Cedric couldn't help but notice signs of a recent storm that may have shifted the wand's location slightly. Althea circles high above the tree canopy and uses her keen eyes to scan for where the wand may have moved to.
Right swipe.
Upon returning to Cedric, Althea tells him the wand's x-coordinate is now 2 units greater than its original x-coordinate of -3. Also, its y-coordinate is 1 unit less than its original y-coordinate of -4. Cedric must use his newfound knowledge of coordinates to adjust for the storm's influence and pinpoint the Lumen Tenebris' true location. Tap that new location to get the wand for Cedric.
Now remember, I was on -3, -4. So let me go find that again. Here's my
X-axis, X-axis, origin, X-axis, -1, X-axis, -2, X-axis, -3, 0.
Now I want to go down to where I was before, which is -4.
-3, -1, -3, -2, -3, -3, -3, -4.
Now I have to figure this out. So it said 2 units greater than the original x at -3. So 2 units greater is going to be to the right.
-2, -4, -1, -4.
All right. And now I want to go 1 unit less than the original -4. Less is going to be down 1.
-1, -5.
So now I'm going to split tap.
-1, nice job. Cedric now has the wand. This illustration depicts Cedric holding a wand with a purple crystal. An owl, Althea Whisperwing, with blue and brown markings flies towards him in a mystical forest with a reflective pool of water and tall, dark trees.
All right, so that described the image we have now. I'm going to right swipe so I can get to previous step button and then the next step button.
This illustration depicts Cedric holding a wand with a purple crystal. Previous step button.
So I actually need to drag instead of right swipe. So previous step, and then I'm going to drag or swipe right.
Next button.
Go to the next game. So if I select that, we'll go on to the next game.
Next, dim. Cedric Shadowbane is eager to test the Lumen Tenebris's power. This one could be just what he needs to ward off monsters. Althea warns him the powers of the Lumen Tenebris can...
All right, I'm going to stop. I did a 2-finger tap to stop the instructions here. But as you see, there's more than one activity within the first quest, and we'll keep on going through these activities. This particular one has a creature that is on the grid that we have to find. And then, like I said, it keeps on going. This will give you a general idea of what the game is like.